when we talk about AI, the conversation is usually dominated by big tech CEOs and super smart researchers. But who's actually on the ground, helping regular people figure all this stuff out? Well, today we're going to dive into the story of a figure who is quickly becoming a key guide in this new AI era.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You see this constant stream of AI news, new tools popping up every single day, and it can be just completely overwhelming. You know it's powerful, but it's so easy to feel like you're being left behind, just trying to keep your head above water while this huge wave is coming at you. That feeling of being overwhelmed, it actually points to a brand new kind of digital divide. It's not really about who has access to the technology anymore, because let's be honest, a lot of these tools are free or pretty easy to get. The real barrier, the new gap that's forming, is all about knowing how to actually use them well. It's a skill gap, not an access gap. And stepping right into that gap is a new kind of expert, what you might call an AI translator. Now, this isn't some researcher in a lab coat. This is a guide, a coach whose whole job is to take this complex, sometimes intimidating tech and make it truly useful for you and me. And one name that keeps popping up in this role is BK Han.
So, BK Han's entire mission is to reframe how we think about AI. He doesn't see it as some niche technical field for engineers. No, he sees it as a fundamental life skill for the modern world, just as essential as knowing your way around a spreadsheet. And this right here really shows you the difference. It's like night and day. On one side, you've got your traditional AI education, super abstract, full of confusing jargon, and really built for engineers. His approach? It's the total opposite. It's all about practical, real-world examples and simple frameworks that are designed for literally everyone, whether you're an entrepreneur, an artist, or just someone looking to switch careers.
Okay, but it's one thing to have a philosophy, right? It's another thing to actually put those ideas into practice. And he does it at an incredible pace. The first layer of his work is as a community architect, building these learning ecosystems at a massive scale.
The numbers here are, well, they're genuinely mind-blowing. Think about this. Since February 2023, that's just a few months after ChatGPT exploded onto the scene, he has hosted over 300 events. He wasn't playing catch-up. He was one of the very first people out there teaching this stuff to the public. And this just shows his insane consistency. On just one single platform, Luma, he hosted 277 events in 16 months. That's almost an event every single day, for over a year. We're not talking about a workshop here and there. We're talking about building real momentum and trust through constant, reliable presence. And his work isn't just in one place. He's reached this incredibly diverse audience all over the globe, from Singapore to the US and Canada, all the way to Eastern Europe. And the age range is just as amazing, from 8-year-old kids to tech-savvy 85-year-olds. It really proves his point. AI education truly is for everyone. So that brings us to the next layer of what he does. See, he isn't just teaching people how to use these AI tools. He's a power user himself, a seriously prolific creator who leads by example. I mean, just look at this output. He's written nearly 1,000 articles on Medium. He's created over 2,000 AI-generated music tracks. He's even recognized as a top 1% Canva user in the entire world. This isn't just theory. This is proof that he lives and breathes this stuff, executing creative projects at scale every single day. Now, this kind of incredible consistency, both in building communities and creating content, it doesn't just come out of nowhere, right? It has to be built on a really deep foundation of experience. And in his case, it comes from a completely different world.
So, you have to ask yourself, where does this relentless, almost superhuman ability to build and scale systems actually come from?
Well, here's the twist. Before he ever got into the AI space, BK Han spent nearly 3 decades in civil engineering and real estate development. Yeah, totally different field. And that is the bedrock of his operational expertise. And when we talk about scale, we mean massive scale. In his old career, he was responsible for leading teams of over 15,000 people. He was managing dozens of general managers across these huge, complex operations in multiple cities. This is a guy who knows how to make big, complicated systems work. And if you want a perfect example of this operational genius in action, you have to hear about this event he pulled us back in 2020. He organized a 54-hour, nonstop live stream sales marathon. He got 28 different streamers all working together and sold 2 million RMB worth of stuff. It was an absolute masterclass in logistics, in team management, and just pure execution under pressure.
So when you start putting all these different layers together, the AI translator, the community builder, the prolific creator, and this large-scale operator, you start to see this really rare and powerful combination of skills emerge.
It's this unique formula you see here. He's got the strategic, big-picture mind of an enterprise leader, combined with the hands-on, get-it-done execution of a digital creator. And it's all guided by the vision of an AI-native educator. It's a synthesis of strategy, creativity, and tech that you just don't see very often. So ultimately, his work and his really unique background, they're kind of an invitation for all of us to completely reframe the conversation we're having about AI. It's about shifting our whole perspective away from that fear-based question.
And that leaves us with this final, really empowering question. By showing us what's actually possible, guides like BK Han change the entire narrative. The question isn't about being replaced anymore. The real question, the one we all need to start asking ourselves is, how will you leverage it?